Hey, how's everybody doing today? I'm really great. I'm really excited for today's episode of Skyblock. Everyone has really liked the storage system that we've built for the new mob farm over here. It's working great with one caveat. Can you hear it? I mean, the monsters dying is a normal thing, right? You have to deal with the sounds of like monster splattering out of the sky, but there's something else. Tick, 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 tick. I feel like Captain Hook, the ticking's driving me insane. I can't handle it. There's so much noise. It makes me feel gross. I can't do it. I can't do it. It makes me go nuts. Having to come over here and grab rotten flesh string. I've been doing a bunch of villager trading. We have tons of emeralds now. But I just couldn't handle the ticking, so I had to come up with some solution. Because, like, the same thing happens over here with the chicken farm. And like whenever we run the charcoal factory, oh, it was already on. No, wait, it was off. Was it full? Oh, hey, it was full. Okay, let's just pretend. That one's a lot slower, but everything ticks because in Skyblock you can't get comparators, which means you can't make like self-aware redstone farms, and you just can't do nothing about it. So I have devised a brilliant solution here. I have created the Nims Dispenser Adjustment Resource Pack. Literally, the only thing this resource pack does is forces dispensers and droppers to now use their inside voice. I'm so happy with this. Might have just gotten some lag there. That's fine. Now listen. It's so quiet. It's peaceful. There's still a slight noise that happens, and let's come back over to the chicken farm. But it's not obnoxiously loud. It's not assaulting your senses anymore. And it's so, I can finally sleep easy at night. Oh, it's so much better. So the storage system / filter has been working out great. I asked the question a couple of episodes ago, should we turn the grass patch over here into a full passive mob farm? I get a lot of questions about this, like, why don't you just grab 2 of every mob and then forcibly breed them yourself? Because that's not cool. That's not inventive. Like, the first thing you ever do in every single game of Minecraft you ever play is you go find 2 of every animal, and you make a little bitty Noah's Ark, you fill, like, a fenced area with just your 2 animals, and then you breed them forever, and then that's how you get your steaks and pork chops and Kentucky Fried Chickens. It is not inventive enough. I need more uniqueness. And I don't think I've ever seen anyone build a passive mob farm before. So, it was pointed out to me, if we name our chickens, they won't affect the passive mob cap. Which means that we can use the passive mob farm while still allowing the chicken farm to turn us out raw chicken for the villager trading hall. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to work on today. We already have 3 of our 4 tower designs, at least not finished, but definitely on their way, with the Iron Golem Tower, the Mob Tower, and then the Villager Trading Tower. It kind of makes sense if this one's like a happy, fun time mob tower, right? Because we're going to definitely continue to do slimes here, definitely going to continue squids and sugarcane, and then if we add all of the passive mobs, like that seems like a very good amount of items to then move into a storage system very similar to that one. Sugarcane, squid, slime, and then all the various items that you're going to get from the animals, whether that's pork chop, steak, chicken, feathers, leather, mutton. You get the idea. So this seems like the best spot to do it. And that means I'm going to have to disassemble almost everything that's currently over there. We're going to need to redo how we handle the slime killing drowning chamber. I'm going to keep the grass the way it is because it works. And I don't want to, full transparency, I don't know the most about how passive mob farming works. We're just going to be learning as we go on that. So I'm going to leave the dirt the same, and pretty much everything else is going to be renovated for this new tower. As a quick aside, I've deleted the path that led up to the Iron Golem farm UFO type thing, and look at how much nicer it looks. It just, this is, gorgeous. Gorgeous, darling. Let's get one more wide angle shot before we get to work on deconstructing all of this below me. It's just sublime. With the pathway gone and just a couple of chests removed, it's already starting to feel so much more spacious. I'm thinking that we put that same storage system just as far back, kind of mirroring what we have on the darkroom mob spawner, except, I mean, obviously instead of it being hooked up to like darkroom stuff, it'll be hooked up to a passive mob in addition to slimes, squid, and it won't be, the sugarcane won't be filtered into it, but the sugarcane will still be placed in it, so that way it looks aesthetically pleasing. That's the plan. The sugarcane farm and like all of this is still coming out too. Hopefully you didn't have any strong attachments to either of them. Just wanted to do a quick check-in with you. I'm getting the spacing figured out now, so we've got a little bit of the redstone, just kind of getting an idea of where it's going to go, how things are going to stack up here. And then I've got the chest orientation figured out as well. So again, we're going to be going from the top left to the bottom right, in order of least important to most important. So the idea here is, what chest are you going to be spending the most time in? That should be the lowest one, because whenever this trap chest then triggers, it doesn't cause the hopper to back up, well, the hopper to back up in the back. English is such a fun language. So anyway, we're gonna be going least important, so the ink sacks are just gonna fill up this chest, and then they're gonna be totally filtered out of the storage unit. Then I have all the meat, so it's gonna be whatever that is. I think it's a pork chop, and then mutton, chicken, rabbit, and beef. Then we're gonna have like the specific types of mob drops, so it'll be wool and chicken feathers getting thrown in this one. Then we have another dedicated to leather mob drop, so it's gonna be regular leather and rabbit hide. Then we'll have all the slime balls, and I have a feeling we're going to be in here a fair amount because we're going to be using slime balls for a lot of builds. We might, however, move that closer to the front because there's going to be so many slime balls, it's going to be ridiculous, and as soon as we finish the builds, we'll never touch it again. Whereas, like, we might continue to play with the meat chest. So maybe the meat chest and the slime ball chest need to move. I don't know. And then definitely sugarcane is going to be the last, because we're going to be going through that all the time for the villager trading. I've just finished wiring the second storage system to the existing slime and ink sack farm, I guess slime squid farm. It's going great. Now, I've put in a lot of these ink sacks myself and a lot of these slime balls myself, but still, the thing is sorting it. It is automatically doing it. You can see I've had to redo all of the hoppers up there, the 25 odd hoppers, feeding into just the storage. I'm using a dropper. It's irrelevant. And that way it chains down using the fewest amount of hoppers possible, which is just me trying to be conscientious of lag, which actually I thought was, like, I was that conscientious of lag after I use 25 open-faced hoppers. It's just, Nims, you're ridiculous. You're ridiculous, buddy. So then, what I was planning on doing next is we still need to get the passive mob farm and the sugarcane farm wired up into this, which is where, you know, the... and I also did decide to redo slime here and meat here. Just because I think that we're going to go into the meat chest a lot, where we're going to go into the slime chest pretty infrequently. So anyway, what I'm thinking I want to do is it's going to have to be asymmetrical, right? Like, I can't build two sugarcane farms because Skyblock doesn't provide you with enough sand or dirt for that. So if I think that I only want to do one sugarcane farm, and the input of that sugarcane farm is going to have to come into this chest all on its own, right? I'm not actually going to have it feed. I just built it up to skip, or like... I built all the redstone as it should be. I'll shut certain things off, but realistically, I'm just going to put the sugarcane directly into the sugarcane chest. I'm not going to worry about anything else, and this hopper right here will likely get taken out. So if that's going to be my sugarcane chest, and the inputs here, I should probably build the sugarcane farm right here since I can only have one sugarcane farm. Well, then that leaves me thinking, like, where am I going to put the capture or the, you know, on the hostile mob farm over here? I have to have the magma blocks down here at the bottom. And you see, because this rotates left to right, I have these two platforms. Well, there's nothing saying that I can't just wall off one of the left right. So say I wall off the right, all the mobs then fall out of the left, and then everything lands on this on the magma blocks on the left. Well, I could do the same thing, and we are going to have to use magma blocks here because chickens. So if we think that this is going to be the sugarcane farm, then the passive mob farm killing chamber then plants here, and then we just mirror those. We try to make those two things look as close to each other as we possibly can, and then call it good. Yeah, I think that'll be fantastic. And then we can just put the sugarcane directly into the sugarcane input, and then take all the mob farm in, all the mob farm drops and put that into pretty much any of these dropper chains right here. So that's the plan. Let's see how it turns out. So I've just finished assembling the prototype for the sugarcane farm. It's going to be significantly smaller, at least horizontally, cough cough wink wink, than it was previously, but it's going to be 2 layers tall, so the rates are going to be about the same. I'm working on, and like getting the redstone figured out for this was such a pain in the butt. I've got, you know, it's kind of hard to see or hear, but this was the button I was using to test, and we can see it does get that nice double extension. I can't see the button anymore. Okay, there it is. I'm really bad at F5. There we go. Okay, so we can see the double extension. Then I'm like, okay, well, we've got the double extension. We still need to make it fully automatic without a button press. How do we do that? So I went back to the previous system we had used, where we use a traditional bud switch on a smaller sugarcane farm. So obviously the sugarcane's not set up. I didn't want to risk losing the sand. So we put the block there, double extension, and it retracts, and this sugarcane would have been broken. So this is all working nicely. You can see here that this is just a very traditional bud switch with the redstone block powering this. Redstone here powers the block, so this piston's butted, but this piston resets it, and right. And then we have the torch that carries up, and then the signal comes around back, and the redstone on the back looks something like that. I've also decided to funnel the sugarcane drops that we get from the sugarcane farm into the filter instead of directly into the chest. The reason for this is we're going to have to use a dropper in order to move because you can see this layer of hoppers here is 1 block too low to get into this chest here. So how do we get them up? Well, we would use a dropper to move them up 1 block to then place them in this chest, yeah? Or we could just place them into the tower of droppers we already have and not have to worry about any added complexity. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. It's not going to slow the farm down at all. The sugarcane's the last thing, and it's only entering on the second half, so it's not going to affect any of our primary dropped items, which are going to be the ink sacs and the slime balls. Those are going to be what's dropped most often. It's not going to affect that at all. So just that's how we're doing the redstone here. So here's another look at spacing. We've got the double sugarcane farm finally set up. It's looking nice. It's being controlled by our single cedar sugarcane, like I said earlier. And then the beginnings of the passive mob farm killing chamber has been added. Now, I had a lot of problems trying to make this look good with the spacing, because this is well, it's 5 wide or 7 wide including the walls, and then it's 3 deep, which is really awkward. Like 5 wide, I can make that work. It's actually the spacing that the passive mob farm requires, since we're going to have to use slimes, but those slimes can't touch the grass, which means we're going to have to use slimes on top of something else. So the something else, probably glass or some other transparent block, so that way it doesn't cause lighting updates or any other weird lag, can slide along the grass without destroying it. which means that the width of that farm is only going to be 5 blocks, so the 5 wide here ends up working out in our favor. But then it being 3 deep is odd because we really only need it 2 deep, so I ended up using 2 layers of glass here, and then I have like this lip. I think it kind of looks cool, and it matches what we've got going on this side, in that with the sugarcane farm, you have to have a space in the front for the water, and then, you know, we have a hopper right there that's collecting it. Oh God, where did that creeper come from? Apparently I did not light up my world well enough. How? Where did you come from, buddy? I have no idea. I'm guessing that he was over here somewhere. That makes sense, because I'm pretty sure I've got everything else well lit. So anyway, this is what the spacing looks like. This is kind of going to be what it's like when it's done. Pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this so far. You know, we're still going to have the tower design, so we're going to have these spaces over here. I'm thinking that we turn these into, like, storage rooms or some other, like, I don't know, some sort of utility space. I don't know yet. I don't know yet, but it'll be really cool when it's done. And then of course we're gonna use a minecart, a hopper minecart going underneath the magma blocks. That's going to then feed into the side of this. So this space is already taken, but we do, like I said, have these 2 giant open areas. I don't know what to do with. Do you? Actually, I would love chat's suggestion on what we should do with this space. Is there something I'm just forgetting in this world that you've been face palming all of this time? That you're like, dang it, Nims, build it. Well, I'll build it. You just gotta tell me what it is, and I'll put it in this spot. I'm nearly done lining the chute up with where we're going to have the grass, not glass, but the grass platform. So you can see it's going to come up, I mean, so close underneath these existing trapdoors. I should just be able to boop these out. Try to get my spacing here. It's been a little bit weird. I thought about doing it from the top down, but just building this bottom up made it so much nicer because, I mean, I'm building the chute. All I have to do is continue to build the chute, and then it'll line up automatically. I don't have to try to connect 2 tubes on some weird angle or anything like that. So this is what the spacing's gonna be like, and I should probably take that one out as well. Take out this trapdoor. I'm gonna try to leave as much of this as I can just for the short term, because mobs are still gonna be able to spawn up there on the grass, and I don't want to... You know, we're gonna keep killing the mobs. We're gonna keep getting our bacon. I don't want to miss out on that. So, until this is fully operational, I'm gonna keep it the way it is. So anyway, this is what we're trying to do here. So obviously, like, whatever these 2 rows of grass here, those need to disappear. This row of grass is fine. So, here, actually, I was going to run all the way around, and then I remembered I had ender pearls, and that makes it just so much easier. So we could just boop off all of these trapdoors. I don't even need to worry about them falling into the, sorter below. Well, they're kind of stalling there, but even, let's pretend they didn't stall there. The filter would just filter them out and spit them off into the void. Actually, it's not spitting them off into the void just yet. It's spitting them into the slime farm, and then they just sit there until they despawn in the slime farm. But in the very near future, they'll spit them into the void. I'm gonna put down some, like, water tubing, like some aqueducts or something like that. I don't know. And that, after we do that, it'll spit them into the void. So anyway, I gotta be very careful with this grass that we're breaking here. This is the only grass that you get in the game. You can never get more. You can never find more. This is it. So I'm just taking it up really slow and steady. And you know what? I'm gonna come around and I'm just gonna put some more cobblestone down over here, just so I don't have to worry about losing anything. Did I just lose it? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 on me. Okay, we're fine. Whoo! Because it would get spatted to the void. Why would I do this to myself? Why would I do this to myself? Because, look at this. I always leave... Why would I put it right on top of the thing? Okay, it looks like I'm gonna have a lot more work here. I need to redo the drowning chamber. Wow. Old me was lazy. So I've gone ahead and extended our grass row just a little bit. It'll take a while for that grass to spread. And I've been looking at the underside of like our drowning chamber. I put up a wall here to keep the slimes out. I don't see any reason that we can't, and it's probably ridiculously dark, but that we can't just put one row of cobblestone right here. It doesn't seem like there's any reason we can't. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do. And that will provide a layer of protection for our dirt. I don't know why I didn't do this in the beginning, though. Strange. Bad Nims. Bad Nims. Oh god, I might have made a mistake. There's so many giant slimes that can't get in there because I put those row of 3 down. How do I destroy that row of 3 without also getting myself killed? Okay, we'll figure that out, how to do that at the end of the episode. I want to do a quick check-in again. So here's the idea. Here's our 5 wide of grass, and you can see it's spreading a bit. So imagine we have that Nims patented sweeper, sweeping left and right, left and right. Then we have all of the mobs falling down this tube, landing on the magma blocks, burning, and then dying. And then their items being collected. I was going to try to jump down there. You know what? Let's go for it. I need to put a torch there anyway. So all the mobs are then dying on these magma blocks. Then we have a hopper minecart, spin around, drop the items off over here into the item filter-y thingy. And then item filter / storage system. Yeah, I don't know. I'm falling in love with this thing, man. I want to build it everywhere. So we have all those items end up here, and then those items are also being combined with everything that we're getting out of the slime farm, everything out of the squid farm. Then we've got 3 chests dedicated to passive mob drops, and then everything from the sugarcane farm. And you know what? I want to harvest this guy. The only thing that I don't know how to do quite yet is, I don't know, actually, I want to do this a bit different. Yeah. I don't know how I want a manual button, because look at this. This is all fully grown, but our one control sugarcane hasn't grown yet. So I want a button. I just don't know where to put it yet. I'm sure I'll figure it out at some point, but until then, that works. And then we can kind of watch all that sugarcane get sorted by just watching this upwards, like the topmost hopper. See, every time that that clock ticks, it processes 1 item. And so all of those sugarcane are now being funneled through. And I can't open the chest because it's a trap chest, but you'll just have to take my word. They're all ending up in that chest there. Alright, so the last thing we're going to do in today's episode, and unfortunately I'm not going to get time to finish the passive mob spawner. There's only so many hours in a day, and like getting all that redstone and tanking everything down and rebuilding it all, just, couldn't do it. Couldn't do everything in one day. So we're going to try to take out mistakes and not die. I've taken off all of my items, and I'm only bringing with me an axe and a few ender pearls. No, maybe. Escape! That actually wasn't too bad. That was pretty easy. Alright, good job us! Thanks everybody for watching this episode of Skyblock, and I'll see you next time.